Good afternoon and welcome to Pickens Springer Gymnasium. Coach Mark Arthur Court, home of the Southwestern Christian University Eagles. Thank you for joining us this afternoon as we have your Southwestern Christian University Lady Eagles versus the Wayland Baptist
Pioneers.
Lady Pioneers, or are they the Flying Queens as well as women's basketball? I know women's basketball is the Flying Queens, but they go Lady Pioneers for volleyball? I'm going to go Lady Pioneers until I get a second chance to look that up.
I don't know the answer.
Thank you for joining us. This is our homecoming weekend, alumni weekend here at Southwestern Christian University.
Please join us in a moment of prayer.
Real quick, let's go over our starting lineups for Wayland Baptist. First, number 2, Elizabeth Worth. Number 8, Carly Heidebrecht. Number 9, Alexa Hinos. Number 10, Maria Eduardo Mota. Number 11, Fade Agabude. Number 13, Samantha Ingram. And the libero for the night, number 19, Brina Daniel. For your SU Eagles, number 1, Tessa Ortiz. Number 2, Tierney Sawyers. Number 4, McKenna Thomas. Number 5, JC Coyle. Number 6, Paige McGee. Number 14, Faith D'Souza. The Libra for tonight is number 3, Treasure Mozon. Before we get the game going tonight, if you are watching this, you will see on court we are honoring our 1 senior for the year, number 2, Tierney Sawyers, the senior middle from Waco, Texas, is a kinesiology major.
Today we recognize all their contributions to SCU and the volleyball team. Here are today's
And
starting
welcome back
lineups,
as
beginning with
we
Pioneers.
will sit there and let Coach Yarborough her word for senior Tierney Sawyers. We'll get a couple pictures as we are about to start this game. We will go over the starting lineups from the PA announcer here in just a few minutes. Real quick, going over some quick notes for SCU. They come off a heartbreaking 5-set loss last night here in Pickens Springer Gymnasium from Panhandle State. They are looking to bounce back and finish their season on a strong note, going a proper send-off for their senior tonight. So we would like to see them bounce back. As the PA announcer does the starting lineups, we will be back in just a few minutes. And welcome back as our referees for tonight are going over the starting lineups. The Liberos are checking in. Wayland Baptist comes into tonight 8-16 overall, but 8-11 in Sooner Athletic Conference play with a couple of big upset wins. They took a 3-set match from OCU early in the year. They've played a couple of top 25 teams to 5 sets, but came away on the wrong side of those. But some really good matches for them. But all 8 of their wins coming in the Sooner Athletic Conference, which is pretty impressive. This being a very, very tough conference, top to bottom. SU now, after their loss last night at 10-18, looking to close out this season. Coach Yarborough's girls looking to finish on a strong note and get some building blocks for next year as well. We've talked about it 1,000 times. This is a very young team, a lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores, one senior, just a couple of juniors on this roster. So a lot of opportunity for them to grow in the future. And I think as long as this team stays together long term, it'll be fantastic to watch. And right off the bat, they get a point. Ball played off the
ceiling
and the light. Yeah, Wayland was able to keep it alive, but the little bit of a joust at the net. McKenna Thomas with the first kill tonight gets that one, and Eagles are on the board.
A bit of a lucky break for both sides right there, I'd say.
Chris Coyle with a back row coverage on that roll shot. McKenna Thomas with another opportunity. Wayland now coming over from the middle.
Really good run there. Potential for the middle there by Wayland, but she just absolutely was not ready for that set.
Excuse me there. Fake to Susie goes to the middle this time, and our senior goes corner and in. Great spot. Catches that back corner. Both line judges called it in. 2-0 lead here for the Eagles early on.
That is a deadly corner back there. That's feeling every middle sweet spot. If you can hit that corner 9 times out of 10, you're going to put the ball away.
And something we saw a lot of last night, service error. A lot of unforced errors last night for the Eagles. Something that I know they worked on and talked about probably
the whole year.
Yeah, well, I was going to say just last night, probably without pause from last night to this morning. They probably got that one beat home a little bit. And there's a whistle.
I don't think the up ref blew the whistle to give the go-ahead. I think she has a little offsides on that one.
I was going to say the sub had just barely gotten off the court, so that was pretty quick.
Something we didn't see last night, Paige McGee is playing the back row today.
Yeah, I saw that a little bit last night. We mentioned her and Treasure needing to communicate a little bit better on the back row, some of the service C's and everything, but Paige actually went for a double-double last night.
She did? Oh.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky on the double-double. She ended up with a negative hitting percentage on the night, but did have that double-double, and they've kind of attacked her early on here in this one.
Well, apparently I've forgotten everything about yesterday while we slept last night, but
that should have been a double, but no call, and that ball's out of bounds for point Wayland regardless.
And she has a really good offensive opportunity here in the back row. She's got the height and she's got that powerful arm, so she's always a good bailout option whenever things are getting a little hectic out the front. Maybe people are out of position. You can just throw it up back there for Paige to just take a crack at.
Point Wayland as it's now 3-all here in the first.
A little bit of a miss in block coverage, or coverage on your hitter right there. That should have been a pretty easy pickup there for Mina, but she was standing on her heels, so that went down. Perhaps a little bit of a miscommunication there between Faith and Paige. Kind of in the no man's land between both of them. So rightfully, Paige probably should have picked that up so that way Faith could get set up one of our hitters. But the score is just 3-4, 3-5 for Wayland.
A little bit of a run there as we've seen a 4-point run for Wayland. Eagles looking to side out and break this serve.
And that's a good start with the service error by Lady Pioneers.
And the senior serves it over. Good serve. Ball's off the block. Paige digs that one out, and she'll get it back row swing. And an error.
Let that one fall just a little bit too far.
Yeah, not much of a chance on that one. That ball was well out in front of her face before she even started her swing there. Finds the net. Now Whalen goes with the high float, a little short. Mina with an opportunity now, and she goes into the block and straight down for a kill. Mina leading the team in kills is a freshman. The freshman from Dallas, Texas, McKinney Boyd High School. Now serving, Faith D'Souza. Her serve is up. And tight set. Falls as Whalen's not able to keep that one alive.
Unfortunate error there, but nobody's ankles are worth going after that ball, so I'm glad that both teams let it slide.
Yeah, let that drop. Now 6-all here. Faith's serve is up again. The lefty will do a lot for the Eagles. We've mentioned it a few times. She's got that lefty swing that she can kind of catch people off guard with. She's pretty good at the service line. Is the main setter for this team with, I think after the 50 assist night last night is at 780 assists on the year. She really does a little bit. She was also big time in the defensive package for these Eagles, but the junior has done a lot for these girls and will continue to do a lot for these girls. I think she's going to be the key for some of these younger girls next year, especially as she's a senior, stepping up as that senior role. And a joust at the net goes the Eagles' way. Point tied up at 7.
Really, really good aggressive net play there by Mina. Very smart to just swipe it instead of trying to swing at it. 9 times out of 10, if you swing at an overpass ball like that, you're going to whiff or swing it right into the net. So it's always a safer, smarter option to just sweep it one way or the other, and that's exactly what she did. Really nice middle run there by the Wayland Pioneers. That was textbook. Service here by Whalen. Catches McKenna a bit off guard, but she is able to get it up. Free ball over. Let's see what the Eagles can do with it. Nice swing there by Tessa, just a bit outside, but it was a good run. Out assistant pass here for the Eagles. McKenna is able to keep it in.
And Whalen goes down the line into the back corner. Point Whalen Baptist. It's now 10-7. And short serve. Good pass there.
That was a beautiful pass because that serve was very, very good.
And that led to an easy swing for Paige on that right side. She's able to go off the block and 4 points. Eagles get the side out. And now we are 10-8 as Treasure is now serving.
Ooh, big miscommunication error there by Whalen. That ball just landed right in the middle of about 4 people. I'm sure that Coach Jim is really unhappy with that one.
Yeah, a little bit of probably of a rough season for him. 8-16, I'm sure, is not exactly what he envisioned for his girls this year, but they're right there in the middle of the Senior Athletic Conference with that 8-11 record. So he's just looking for some building blocks that they continue into the postseason, and swings like that is exactly what he's looking for.
Mm-hmm. She's certainly undersized for a middle here, which I feel like we say kind of a lot, but she's very, very good. She's got really, really good jump, really powerful swing, and her setter's timing is really, really good. You can tell that they've worked a lot with each other.
And that ball's down. Point Whalen as we're going back and forth a little bit here.
Really aggressive swing there by Paige. Not sure if she was trying to use the block. Probably doesn't really look like it. But our libero looked like she thought it was going to land outside the line, but it definitely didn't.
And we are back out of the timeout. 13-9 lead here for Wayland as the libero, Brenna Daniel, the junior from Lubbock, Texas, is serving. Ball's up. And complete miscommunication there by Wayland as Tierney Sawyers just really just kept the ball alive there to play that one out and gets the kill.
Super uncommon for this Wayland team. In years past, that ball would have been right up. So I'm sure that that's going to be something that gets worked on here for them before the conference tournament.
McKenna Thomas with a tip there. That ball finds a hand off the block, but straight down. Wayland not able to play that one up. 11-13 now. SU with a little run.
Well, that'll be the third tip in this little run here by Paige. That's spurned Wayland right now. So if I'm the Eagles, I'm really paying attention to that, and I'm just going to use that until it finally gets picked up.
Yeah, we've been a little critical of the Eagles with how tip-happy they can be at times. But if a team's going to just give it to you and let you have it, don't make it too complicated. Take it.
There's a time and a place for tipping. And, if you absolutely just have to get the ball back over, that's one thing. Every swing, nada, unless, you're just noticing that you're being able to burn the other team point after point after point, and then you can ride that ship until it sails off. Just like that, Faith over the shoulder, gets another one.
And just like that, great run here by the Eagles, tied it up at 13 all. Paige with a good little service run right now.
Mm-hmm. Wayland looking really frazzled. And we certainly just gave them a bit of relief as we served the ball out.
And much of the same that we saw last night. Service errors, the unforced error is what is keeping this game close. The Eagles could be in a much different situation right now if they would just kind of take care of the ball, especially on the service line. Looked like a little bit of a double there, but played out. Wayland with a good dig. And good defense leads to good offense. They get the kill.
Really good run out of the middle. That was a really hard angle for her to swing across her body, but she wanted that ball. You can hear probably from home how loud she was yelling for it, and she sure put it away, so that was really fun to watch.
Wayland with a chance now. The ball is blocked from net. Free ball. Eagles now get a second chance at it.
Really good defense played by Wayland right there.
And a couple of swings in that run by Tierney Sawyers, and that one finds the ground. Kill for Tierney. Now 14-15 as Mina comes on for JC Coyle.
I don't want to speak too soon, but our senior is having a really good game so far. So I hope it continues for her. We always want everybody to go out on top when it's their last game on the court.
That's right.
And trust me, that's a hard one to swallow.
Hina with a tip. Eagles with another chance here. She swings and is not able to cover up the block. As that ball falls. Looked like McKenna Thomas might have been in position there to cover her swing. It was good block coverage, but her and Mina kind of, I guess, got crossed up. Mina kind of went for it and cut off McKenna, and ball falls. Point Wayland. And an overpass there gives Wayland a chance. Swipe. Dug out, and point Eagles.
That's one of those awkward overpass spots where you either have to get aggressive and swipe it at a hard angle or just step back and take a swing. But what she did is certainly what we tell everybody not to do. So we'll take it because we get the point. But hopefully she doesn't do that one again. I don't want her to get in trouble.
Yeah, we gave Tessa some credit last night for that same ball that she played smart, was able to pass it on, and gave the Eagles a good chance to have a scoring opportunity. Wayland did not play that exactly perfect, and Coach Giacomazi was a little unpleased with the way his girls played that one, but it is what it is, and you move on, and Eagles get another point right after as the ball goes off the speakers, off the ceiling and over. That is considered out of bounds. Point Eagles. Ball's tipped. Playable. Faith Souza, the lefty, with a swing. Wayland coming back. And a little back and forth action as Mina goes cross court. And out of bounds. Point Eagles. Big swing there by the freshman.
You know, I just want to point out our defense right now because our middle blocker is serving. And being a middle blocker, you're not the best at defense. And Paige is in the back row, and she's one of our taller players. So, you know, if you're drawing it up on paper, it should be pretty easy to get out of this rotation here for Wayland. But we're doing a really good job at picking up just about everything they put over.
Yeah, not the rotation that you would expect to see, especially with this much success. You've got two middles on the court. You've got Paige, who's been playing all the way around more recently in the last month or so, but still relatively new to the back rows, just past the 100 dig plateau last night, so still relatively new to this. You've really got two outsides and a setter on the court altogether. No libero, no DS. So, I mean, this is a tough rotation to say the least, but hey, if it works, let it work.
Yes, there's not one true DS on the court right now, and you know, you could not tell.
No, I would say the most like a DS player on the court right now is McKenna Thomas with 276 digs on the year, but it's working. And welcome back out of the timeout as the Eagles are up 19-16. We want to give a quick shout out to the fans who are in attendance tonight. If you're listening to us online, we appreciate you tuning in. I know that some of you probably wanted to make it but couldn't make it, but we wanted to give a shout out to the fans. We gave a little bit of a call out to you guys last night to get here and support this team, especially on a packed alumni weekend, homecoming weekend, and senior day here for volleyball for Tierney Sawyers. But you guys turned out well. We've got probably one of the biggest crowds we've had all year, and the Eagles are playing great, and I think that part of that comes off of the electricity that you get from the fans being here.
Definitely. This is a completely different gym than it was last night.
It's a big momentum swing to have the home crowd fans here helping you out. If you would have been here last night, you would have enjoyed just a phenomenal volleyball game. Eagles came up just a little short there in 5. but you can't doubt them for how hard they played. They played phenomenal from start to finish. I say start to finish. Let's go with the 10-point in from the start to finish, but really played well and gave our hometown crowd that was here a lot to enjoy. And Coach Yarborough, I know, is going to watch film, continuously watch film, be a student of the game with her players, and have a lot to talk about. But nothing you can fault them for playing last night. They played about as good as they could and not win. So unlucky there, but hopefully a better outcome is in the fold for the Eagles today, as they're up 20-18 right now on Wayland in the first set. And good effort there by the Eagles, but that ball will go out of bounds. Point Wayland, as it's now 20-19. Wayland trying to close this gap as the first set winds down.
Really good effort there by Mina to pick up that ball, but I think it was almost got in the way of McKenna there, who was probably going to be able to dig that out pretty well.
Yes, second time in recent points that we've seen that. McKenna kind of sliding in for a dig, and Mina gets a hand on something and kind of redirects, and unlucky just it falls because there's nobody there afterwards to kind of cover it up.
Just deflects off to no man's land.
And a little bit of
delay.
Yeah, cat and mouse game maybe. Wayland goes with a little bit of a late sub there and then decides to call timeout afterwards. So really trying to take advantage of icing the SU server, JC Coyle, as long as possible.
I don't blame him, because JC Coyle, she's got a mean little serve and a little tiny frame body. So
yeah, she's really played well as of late. Was a big contributor last year. Was really, really big at the beginning of this year. I had a couple of sets there, a couple of matches there in between, in the middle of the year, in that lull where Coach Yarborough kind of worked on some different rotations, looked at some different things, got some different girls in. And JC was one of those girls that kind of, unfortunately, when you're working other girls in, somebody's got to come off the court. So she was in that role trying to find her way back onto the court, and she's done so and has really not given it back. It's kind of taken that spot back and just said, you'll have to come get it from me. This is my best volleyball ahead of me. So she's done really good here to close out the year.
And we love to see that. Nobody's position is ever safe, right? That's why you have your bench. So to see these girls continuously working harder to get better and solidify their spot on this court, like, no, this is my spot. I'm supposed to be here. It's really fun to watch because it just adds such a competitive edge to practices and to games. And it makes the people underneath them, maybe the underclassmen, work so much harder to try and, I want to be like her, I want to be better than her. And it just creates this friendly competitiveness that's really going to make your team a lot better.
Yeah, I agree. I think competition breeds excellence a little bit when it comes to practice. The more depth you can have, the more competition you can have. It doesn't do any harm to have the girls getting after it day in and day out. It really, iron sharpens iron.
Mm-hmm. It certainly does. Good serve there by JC. And a really good run out of the middle there by Wayland. Tessa kind of had her number there, but she just wasn't pressing hard enough. If she was, that ball would have been blocked.
You read it right, just got beat. Sometimes good offense beats good defense. We saw that a few times last night. Wayland now serving, down 20-21. Eagles trying to hold on and close out this first set. Good pass there by JC Coyle.
And another successful tip there for the Eagles. McKenna just barely over the block, and Wayland setter was just not able to get to it.
A couple of subs, both teams here, as Wayland subs. And SC will sub. Tierney will come back on for Tessa. And Treasure is now serving. And that's an ace. She is leading the team, and ace is coming into tonight. I am still one game behind on stats, so I apologize for missing that. But 28 service aces coming into tonight. That one give her 29, unless she got some earlier this week at Randall. Again, I apologize, I do not have the final stats for those 3-set win that SU got at Randall.
Bit of a whiff there from the middle by Wayland. Easy pickup for our libero. Setting McKenna up for a beautiful cut shot off the outside.
Yeah, that's something that she's really gotten better at all year. She was a little bit more, straightforward, a little bit more powerful last year, but she was asked to do it all last year as a freshman. Led the team in kills. But with Mina coming on, they've had that two-headed attack over here. McKenna's been able to really play that cut shot across the court, and she's really gotten pretty good at it as the year's gone.
And you really have to, because the blocking teams of the Senior Athletic Conference are very good. So you've got to figure out ways to score. And that cut shot is, as we've seen tonight, definitely one very effective way.
Super effective. As the first set comes to an end, 25-20. Treasure with another service ace will close it out. And welcome back as we get ready for set number 2 here at Pickens Brigham Gymnasium. Southwestern Christian University wins the first set, 25-20. Wayland Baptist serving. The serve is up. Ball's blocked and kept alive. Roll shot. Wayland with a chance here, run in the middle. Dug out by Jesse Coyle. in system ball. Good rally back and forth. A little bit of a lucky break there. Wayland kind of ran into each other a couple of times. Transition didn't quite get out of the way from the middle for them to be able to set that, but it didn't hurt them as the Eagles try to take advantage of them running each other and hit a spot. Ball goes out of bounds. Point Wayland.
Yeah, we've noticed a lot from Wayland that, you know, when the middle center connection is on, obviously it's really good, but every other time it's just kind of rushed and not ready. It's like they're not on the same wavelength. And that's, you know, one necessary thing you have to be when you're a middle and setter. Like, you've got to be on the same page, otherwise you'll never get anything run.
Yeah, a little confusing to understand how that happens. I mean, you're 5 games into the year, and you understand that a little bit if you had maybe somebody that you weren't really familiar with, but you've got your setter up closing in on 500 assists, your main setter 500 assists. You've got a second setter with 160, but that's a big gap, so you really can't say they're running a 6-2. And then you're kind of getting into it. You've got 5 girls with over 100 kills, so it's not that you're not used to seeing each other. Not on top of the 25 sets, you probably see each other every day in practice, so it's just a little confusing to see why there's such a hiccup on their connection, especially on the timing of something that's simple, something you can work on just not even in practice, something you can work on your own. Wayland comes over on 2. Eagles get that tight set, keeps it over. And through the block and down for a kill. 4-1 Wayland here, starting off second.
Something we see pretty often here, you know, taking advantage of our shorter blocker over here for Faith.
Yeah, something that is not our strong suit, I would say. Only one girl on the roster listed at 6 foot, and that's our lone senior, Tierney Sawyers, and she gets that kill. But definitely undersized when it comes to the front line, prototypical college volleyball heights. Only having one girl on the roster at 6 foot makes it a little tough in the block game, but Eagles have given their best, and it's shown when, especially with Tessa and Tierney, the middles are involved a lot, you know, from pin to pin, both girls having more than 55 blocks in the season, but that has given some chances for some big swings right at the back row, like that one right there. No block, no touch, nothing to slow that one down, and just misplayed there in the back row because it was a free swing.
You know, you mentioned that this rotation that Wayland is running is pretty strange, and you know, they do have the 2 setters, and so they both play at the same time when number 13 is in the front row, and then when she goes back row, the second setter rotates off. So it's really curious to see, you know, how this is working for them. I've never quite seen that before.
Yeah, you never know, you know, their full story. This is one of the only times that we've seen our Eagles play a game where they are deeper on the bench than their opponent. Wayland only with 11 girls here today that I guess made the trip from Plainview, Texas. So not something we're used to seeing. Usually we're the short team when it comes to depth.
Really nice run out of the middle there for Tessa.
Senior Tierney Sawyers back to serve, down 4-5 here in the second set. Her serve is short, but is overpass. Eagles with a chance. Tessa plays that one. Mina with an outside swing, finds the ground. And now we're tied up at 5 as Tierney will continue her service run. And an ace as that ball is misplayed there in the back row. No communication between Wayland as their back row and their libero are trying to figure that out right now in between points.
It looks like she couldn't quite make up her mind if she wanted to just step out of the way and let it go out or try to make a play on it. Hard to tell. That one was going to be close if it was going to be in and out. And just a really big little mishap right there.
Yeah, it was going to be tough. It was probably going to be borderline on that back line, but she waited way too long to try to bail out, and it hit her in the shoulder. But even if she had gotten out of the way, the libero was right there playing. I think she was going to play that no matter what. So just really tough to understand. And then Tina comes right back with a short serve, gets an ace. So a good little service run as she gets a good touch, but not able to keep it alive in that back row there. Good service run, though, from the senior middle. As she comes off, Treasure comes back on. And Whalen will get out of that rotation. And it's now 7-6 Eagles, Whalen serving, if we can get the game ball back.
Yeah. Thank you to the fan who crawled under the bleachers. I've been under there. It's not very good.
Yes, thank you for not being claustrophobic and getting our game ball back.
We're afraid of dirt and dust and old popcorn.
New popcorn, fresh popcorn.
Right.
And Mina through the block and down for a kill.
Really nice push there from Faith. She was pretty far outside the court, and that was a really, really, really good set there for Mina.
And service there gives it right back to Whalen.
And we'll see if the tides of this game are going to change, because the entire men's soccer team for Wayland Baptist just started walking in the gym. So we've talked about before how having a crowd can really make a difference. We'll see if they get loud for their Lady Pioneers over here.
Yeah, very busy day here at Southwestern Christian University. Last night we had volleyball with some of the alumni on campus. We also have volleyball, men's soccer, and men's and women's basketball, along with the homecoming court today. So a packed house is expected throughout the day. People coming and going, and hopefully coming and staying. But really, really looking forward to this evening as the halftime of the men's game, Coach Mark Arthur, Coach Annie McGill, and the women's basketball team will receive their national championship rings from last season. So if you're around and you want to celebrate, come out. You still got time to celebrate for senior day for volleyball, and then hang around to watch Sooner Athletic Conference tournament play for soccer, men's soccer, and then men's and women's basketball as we honor and celebrate homecoming and our women's basketball national champions. And swinging a kill there by Whalen makes it 9-all now.
Not a super smart choice to just throw a foot out there when your teammate's diving at you to try to pick that up. That's asking for a concussion.
A little dangerous there.
10 out of 10 would not recommend.
Short serve is dug out. Good pass. A good chance to run that one, and Paige goes off the block and down for a kill. We apologize. I've not been able to give you any individual or team stats so far, as the website is telling me that we are having a bad gateway on the NAIA website. So Presto Sports is down currently, so we are in communication with them to try to get that back up and running for you guys. If you're trying to follow stats at home, we apologize. If you are watching the live stream, I will try to keep you updated as much as possible on the score, and if I can remember certain stats as it's going, I will try to throw that out there for you.
It's a really nice rally here from both sides. Oh, good save.
Long rally both ways here. And McKenna Thomas uses the block, trolls it out of bounds. Point Eagles.
I want to rewind pretty early in that rally. That was a really nice block there by Tierney. Number 11 for Wayland came, and she took a really big swing, and she slowed it down more than enough for that rally to go on and continue long enough for McKenna to end up getting the point. So really good job by our senior, our lone senior.
Decides to go back to that cut shot, and we talked about it last set. She's really grown comfortable with that cut shot. It's a very difficult shot, and she's gotten really good at it. Gets it for another kill.
We like to call that your money shot. Every hitter has one, and that has got to be McKenna's.
Yeah, that's her go-to swing, especially right now. If it's working, feed it.
Oh, lucky Miss Libero on the service line.
And ace there as the girls celebrate that one. That is number 3, Treasure Mozon's third service ace of this match. She came in leading the team in aces. The ball's dug out, another pass swing, but not dug out that time. Point Wayland. And you can tell the impact that the soccer players are having as we're starting to hear them over our headsets on some of the Wayland swings. A little bit more electricity now that there's fans from both teams well accounted for. Service error goes Eagles' way as 14-10 now, Eagles.
Out of system ball here for Wayland. Unsure what went on there. If you can get one arm to it, you can definitely get two, and that would have set us up for a much better success right there.
And I've just been told, I think we made a mistake. We apologize for those at home. I believe it's Central Christian men's soccer, not Wayland soccer. So a little mistake on that one. The logos from a distance look very similar for us. We apologize. And now I'm getting another correction as we have multiple teams in the gym. Wayland Baptist men's soccer is here, and so is Central Christian men's soccer. So my apologies. I'm there's more teams here than I expected there to be, so we're just trying to keep track of everybody's faces and logos, so we apologize for the confusion. But a lot going on here at Southwestern Christian University today, as we mentioned earlier. Men's soccer. Multiple men's soccer teams, but men's soccer playing, men's and women's basketball playing, women's volleyball. All on campus today, along with our homecoming weekend and alumni weekend.
I think we're a little bit overbooked here, aren't we?
We're a little crowded. There's definitely no doubt about that.
We might be single-handedly taking down the NAIA stat server.
A lot going on here. But as we return to action here at Pickens Springer Gymnasium, Eagles up 16-13 as that ball is whiffed but touched, kept alive.
Really good effort there by that middle for Wayland. Her set was way high for her, and she still managed to keep that ball in play. So props to her because she had the go-go gadget arm right there.
And kill out of the middle from Tessa Ortiz makes it 17-13. Kearney still serving. She's had a really good night service line for the Eagles. Kept alive and over on two. Wayland plays it up. And off the block and down for a kill, Wayland.
A little bit of a hole there, but I think it caught a little bit of Faith's hand, so slowed it down just enough for us not to be able to get to it.
Serve is up. Float, deep float. Big swing by Mina off the block. Out of bounds. Kill Eagles.
Really good tool there by Mina.
Yeah, Mina came into tonight leading the team in kills. Again, I'm one game short on the stats. Haven't gotten the official stats from our earlier contest with Randall University. but she is at 291 kills minus that game, so she might have already been at the 300 kill mark, but if not, she's closing in very quickly and looks to be getting that threshold tonight. Also coming down the pipe is Faith D'Souza at 800 assists in the year. Again, don't have the numbers from Randall, but minus that game, 780 assists, so she's going to clear that 800 assist mark tonight. She also has a chance to clear the 300 dig mark, as she is only 11 away, and they have actually attacked her quite a bit tonight in the first 2 sets, so she's looking to get there. Treasure has gone over the 30th service aces mark for sure. Tess is looking to close in on 150 kills. Treasure's looking to go up over 500 digs. McKenna Thomas probably a little too far away from the 300 mark on digs or kills at 261 on kills and 276 on digs. Probably not going to make that threshold, but a really good effort from the sophomore all the way around. She's played all the way around all year. JC Coyle over 200 digs. Paige McGee now over 150 kills on the year. Faith D'Souza, I guess, has a chance to get to 100 kills on the season, depending on what she got at Randall the other night in that 3-set match. She's at 93. So if she'd gotten a couple there and a couple here, she could probably get there, and that would be a very well-rounded season from the junior setter.
Very much so. I mean, I'm just so impressed by Mina. Her her debut year for the Eagles, and she's going to close in on 300 kills. That's very, very impressive.
Yeah, absolutely, Will. She's had multiple games with 15-plus kills, and you just think about the growth. I mean, you start off your freshman year with 300-plus kills. Sophomore year, you're expecting a jump. Junior and senior year, expecting a jump. I mean, it kind of gives you some room to dream, but what do you think you end at on that senior year if you're just kind of growing?
I mean, 600 maybe?
Really good. We talked about it a couple times tonight. The two-headed monster of Mina and McKenna, as they've gone almost 300 kills each. So you look at those two, just a freshman and a sophomore respectively. So they continue to grow. Next year you take a jump. Maybe you look at 750 kills combined. The year after is juniors and seniors respectively. You're looking at, you're going to think they're going to just really, really shoulder the load on the outside there. It'd be awesome to see them combine for close to 1,000 kills for this team. That'd be something else.
That would be very, very impressive. I mean, you would be getting all kinds of NAIA and at least SAC conference honors for that one.
Oh, there'd be some huge accolades. And I know I'm getting way out there and reaching pretty far, but like I said, with a team like this full of freshmen and sophomores, just a few juniors and the one senior, gives you a lot of room to dream going down the pipe for the next couple of years. Whalen coming over. Ball spun a little bit out of the setter's hand, but no call there. Another one, so we're back to even rather than the double calls.
Really great coverage there by McKenna.
And for the 5th time tonight, I believe, a miscommunication between Whalen's setter and the middle. There's no transition. There's a high set. There's a low set. There's just nothing there that you can even swing at.
We're just not on the same wavelength, but to play devil's advocate, we did have one of our own just 2 plays or so ago.
Yeah, it's going around a little bit, kind of like a flu bug or something.
Yeah, it's contagious.
Whalen gets a good connection that time, gets the kill. 19-18 Eagles lead here in the 2nd set. Whalen serving. Eagles are up 1-0. Good swing dug out by Whalen. Just Coyle with a good dig out of the middle of the court. Tessa goes to the middle, but it's dug out. And that ball is between Faith and Treasure, but not able to be corralled. Point Whalen, 19 all here in the 2nd set. And if you're getting some of this background noise, this court noise that we're getting through our headsets, it's getting loud in here.
It is.
You got teams from all over the country all rooting for somebody different.
Oh, that was probably going to go out, but then a very good save there by JC.
The lefty Faith brings it over. And point Whalen, as they went back to a more conventional, higher 3-step approach there out of the middle. Get a little more time for her to take a swing at it. And the last 2 swings out of the middle have been probably the best swings from Whalen of the night.
Very
Makes it a 2019 game, Whalen.
And I'm sure the crowd can hear over the microphone that the Wayland soccer team was pretty happy with that one too.
Oh yeah, that's we talked about it last night. You joked about it, made the reference, the big boom. I mean, a lot of people are here for different games and different sports, and you got a couple of alumni and some fans that are here just for the weekend, but you get drawn into the gym by the noise. You can hear it up in the parking lot, and you kind of start wandering down this way, and then you sit and you get just engulfed into the atmosphere that's so electric, especially when you set those big boom swings. You get the big boom, and everybody kind of gets excited, and like, whoa, did you see that? And you talk about it with your buddy. You kind of, knock them on the arm, and you're like, hey, I want to see that again. And it just kind of captivates you, and you kind of you get locked in.
You do. I mean, you come here for the big boom, and you stay because you realize, wow, this is actually really fun to watch.
Yeah, very, very high-paced, high-intensity game on a relatively small court.
Yeah.
I mean, you're looking at, realistically, 3/4 of a basketball court, and you're trapped in here, 6-on-6, 12 girls just going at it.
Not much room to run.
No room to run. It's war, and you're face to face.
I mean, literally, you're just standing in front of somebody that's hitting a ball really hard at you.
What's not to love?
What is not to love? That's what's not to love.
And Coach Yarbrough does not love that one, as there's really no effort to get to that free ball. Ball falls 21-19 Wayland as they're continuing to serve. Eagles need to side out.
I mean, in every aspect, that should just not have happened. Faith needs to take that ball.
Yeah, setters usually get the second ball, but if you would expect her to yell for help, somebody would just touch it. As that setter comes over on 2 and catches the Eagles completely off guard. Big run, a lot of momentum for Wayland as SU needs a timeout to regroup, 22-19. And all the electricity is really from Plainview, Texas right now. That has captivated this crowd.
I mean, unfortunately, when that soccer team came in, the SCU Eagle fans kind of got outnumbered. I don't know how many you think there are down there. 20-something?
Yeah, really, the crowd is still favoring the Eagles, but the electricity is not favoring the Eagles. I can tell you that right now. It's a big difference right now between the Wayland Baptist fans and your Southwestern Christian University fans. So this is, again, another challenge shout-out to our fans. We'd like to see you get loud and get supportive if you're here, if you're at home, and you know somebody that's in this gym. Shoot them a text, say, hey, you're getting called out on the broadcast. The McDaniels would like to see a little bit more life in this gym from the Eagles. And if you're around and you're listening to us, on YouTube right now, and you can get a chance to get up here and help be supportive and help with that crowd noise, we'd love to see you. It's alumni weekend. It's homecoming weekend. Come up, come join us. We'd love to talk to you.
Very much so, because there's still a lot of volleyball left to play. I mean, we've talked about this before, the Eagles. They just love their 5-set matches, and if we're going to keep going like this, it'll easily be another one.
Yeah, the Eagles are not in for short matches. You definitely get your money's worth when you come watch these girls play. Overpass. Wayland in system. Chance to run the middle. And perfectly run. Splits the back row. Point Wayland, 23-19. Eagles are getting a little frustrated.
Yeah, you can see it on their faces that they are, I mean, they're not hiding it. They're very annoyed with each other. And that is dangerous. That's cancerous when you can see that your teammates are annoyed with each other.
And another one.
I mean, I don't know where this has come from, but there's a lot of looking around at each other like, are you going to take that?
And Kent keeps that one alive, but gives Wayland a chance to finish it. And an attacking error there. As finally, we got a little bit of a rerun of what we saw and what we learned to expect from Wayland out of the middle. Mistimed, bad set, bad swing. That's what we really saw all but the last 4 or 5 points out of the middle for Wayland. We've seen that all match, so luckily Eagles get a chance there to continue this one, as Treasure, just who you want, is right back on the service line for her 4th, I believe, ace of the match. It's now 21-24. And Treasure's serving to keep these girls from dropping the second set and looking to go up 2-0 and not go 1-1.
I mean, how good would a 3-set sweep be on senior night? Woo!
Deep float, stays in. Wayland with a chance, has to push.
Beautiful set.
Treasure covers that one up. Page with a swing. That should be a lift. Ball doesn't go over anyways, so lift is called. Couldn't hear it through the crowd noise, but good call there by the up ref. And it's 22-24, and now it's getting a little louder.
We need the decibel meter like they've got at the Thunder games.
That's right.
If you have small children, bring earmuffs.
In-system ball. Wayland has to tip. Eagles with a chance here. Tight set. Dug out. Great dig by the libero.
Good touch off the block.
Eagles with another chance. McKenna Thomas with another swing. She tips. Block, but still on Eagles side. Faith pushes it over on 2 for a reset. And a big swing out of the middle. No touch is the call, and that ball goes out of bounds.
I mean, the Eagles can still win the set, but the last thing we need to do is play it safe. And the first thing we need to do is get a good block up on number 11 because she wants this set.
23-24, Eagles still serving. Float goes deep, playable. That should be a double, and that's the first double call of the night, and that could not have come at a worse time for Wayland. Multiple times we've said it over the broadcast. Eagles got away with some, Wayland got away with some, but that one was rough. And it gets called 24-all. And men's basketball, SCU over here in the corner. Now they've kind of taken control of this gymnasium. The electricity is back on SCU's side as they, I guess, took the challenge and ran with it. $24-all here in the second. Eagles come storming back to save an opportunity to win this second set. They really had this set kind of in control early on. And then it was back and forth, and Wayland completely ran away with it and had this game under control. 24-19, I believe, and a 5-point run here with Treasure on the service line. 24-all, and you got to win by 2, so who knows what can happen. You're back to basically a square ball game.
Super difficult to do is to come back from a 5-point deficit, let alone win, I mean, any single mistake and this set's over, right? So really good props to the Eagles here for keeping their heads on straight and just taking it 1 point at a time, because the last thing you need to do is worry about what happens if. You just need to put the ball away and go to the next one. Put the ball away and go to the next one, and then all of a sudden here we are, we're tied at 24.
Yeah, when your back's against the wall, it really doesn't matter what else happens. You kind of just, next point, so what? Next point, so what? And you're really focused in. You have that heightened focus. And we saw a few points ago the Eagles kind of turning on each other a little bit. The frustration mounting, the disappointment mounting. You could see it on their faces. And out of nowhere, they just kind of flipped the switch, and they're right back in it.
What was point number 1? You got to stop that middle. She's really awake now. She's ready, and you have to get a block up on her. Otherwise, she's going to shove it down your throat.
Yeah, Fade Agabude from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, the freshman, listed as an outside, but really been playing in the middle all night and has really made her presence felt here in the second set hard. And unfortunate, something you can't hit. You cannot make a mistake there on serve receive. Really a fairly simple serve. Service receive error, which is something we talked about multiple times. The unforced errors, the hitting errors, the serve receive errors, the service errors. You can't have that. They had too many of them last night. They had, 56 of them, I believe, last night in a 5-set match. That kills you. That's 2 whole sets. And then here it goes again tonight. Stuff you cannot see happen is happening, and that brings it to 1-1. So we're in for another barn burner here all afternoon.
I mean, very much so. And, I hate to see it. These Eagles look really mad at each other. And that's super unfortunate because it's a team effort, right? So everybody makes mistakes. You've got to pick up each other. And, the last thing you need to do is give your teammate some side eye or some full frontal eye disapproval looks, for example, that last pass was too tight. Somebody hits the ball out, somebody hits it into the net. The last thing you need to do is look at your teammate and give them a disapproving stare because they're obviously already upset with themselves for their mistake. That's why you have Fight with the Girls on the court, right, to pick each other up. So seeing these attitudes that we can definitely see right now is a really big bummer.
Yeah, tough. I mean, I understand the emotional up and down, the roller coaster that is college athletics. Trust me, I get it. But this is supposed to be your family. I mean, realistically, during the season, you're spending more time together than you are with your families. And you've got to have that mentality and have each other's backs. I mean, there's many a times that I blamed myself more than someone else because, like, for instance, on that last pass, a little bit of miscommunication, maybe a tight pass, could have played it out of the net possibly, but nobody was there to cover it up anyways. It just kind of fell, didn't really have a chance at it. All right, make a better pass, my bad. Or if I'm on the other end of it, hey, I should have played that out of the net, my bad. Whatever it is, you take that on yourself and somebody picks you up. You don't want to throw blame on someone else. You don't want to tear somebody else down. You're there to build each other up, have each other's backs, and help each other rise to the occasion, which now you've really got to flip that switch hard because you just gave Wayland, you took all the momentum away from them and just give it right back. And now they're tied up at 1. And as we know with these girls, we're in for a long afternoon when it comes to this volleyball court. So you can't allow this game to get out of hand. You don't want to go down 2-1 again. You want to be the one that goes up 2-1 and really put that pressure right back on Wayland and force them with their back against the wall to play perfect to not get beat.
Very much so.
And Eagles will serve to start set 3. 1 set apiece as we're tied up. Eagles drop that last one, 26-24. And just kind of how we finished that second set. Third set starts with a Wayland point and a little bit of miscommunication there on the defensive side of the ball for the Eagles. And Coach Yarborough visibly upset as she doesn't understand why there's so much confusion on that back row. Ball is tipped. In-system ball here for the Eagles this time. And there's McKenna's, as you called it, money shot. Not quite as much cut as we've seen in some of the other shots, but she goes to that same spot. And that spot is paying big dividends for her tonight.
Really nice swing there from the middle by Wayland. Running a bit of a stack there. The outside coming in for a 3. Or right side coming in for a 3, middle going for a 1. And we definitely got fooled.
Point Wayland as they're now serving up 2-1. Trying to double check the live stats for those of you at home that like to keep up. We're trying to double check. We finally got NAI's approval that their site is back up and running. So getting that back into you, we'll get you guys some team stats and some individual stats as this set goes on. Mina with a kill there, and that is number 9 for her. And unless she already had gotten some from that Randall game, which I guarantee you she got some kills at that Randall game, she's officially at 300 kills on the season.
Congratulations.
Good job,
big
Freshie.
Freshman.
Good job, Freshie. Unforced error there on the service line as Tierney with the service error gives the point back to Wayland Baptist. 3-2 now.
Some more of our men's basketball team rolling in. Let's see if we can kind of compete with this Wayland soccer team here for some team spirit.
Tessa plays that overpass. In-system ball. Mina with another swing. Ball's blocked. McKenna, good coverage. Faith goes over on 2. And Wayland scrambles and keeps it alive. Good effort there. Tessa with a middle swing, and she finds the ground. Big swing, big kill.
Very nice swing there. That's one thing, when your middle passes an overpass or passes a short ball, the best thing you can do with that is give it right back to it, right? Because they're going to go fast, and the other team 9 times out of 10 is not going to be ready for what's going to come over the net because, you run your middle so quickly that they just blink and the ball's already on the floor.
Yeah, before you really have a chance to reset or understand what happened. And, ooh, interesting call there. Goes against the Eagles as a net call. Not sure about that one. Goes against Tessa. Maybe the hair. I didn't think that was even a rule anymore, but maybe the hair.
I don't know. I didn't see anything. And perhaps the hair, but yeah, that's not a rule anymore.
Yeah, the hair is no longer part of the player when it comes to net violations, so that was a little bit of a strange call there. But hey, way to use your head. Mina gets the swing and block down off her head, but kept alive momentarily. Whalen gets a big swing out of the middle.
You've got to pay attention and be aware of the court. Well, that should not have worked for SU to get that ball back over, and in the end, it didn't work out for us at all. But
no, ball never lies, I guess.
Ball never lies.
And Coach Yarbrough talking to her frontline girls, you've got to close that block. They're getting exposed a little bit. We gave, I guess, too much criticism to Whalen's middles. Their setter and middle connection was really, really poor early on in this match, and really looked like their biggest glaring weakness and something that the Eagles were looking to exploit. But that's their weakness has turned into their biggest strength, as that connection is no longer needs to be criticized. That is winning them points. A lot of them.
A lot of them. Those middles, you've got to get a block up on them, or they're going to continue to shove it down your throat and make you like it.
And Eagles with a yellow card. It looks like maybe a delay a game. And Eagles not happy with that one.
Unsure if it was the celebration or maybe they're too close to the court.
Coach Yarbrough is unsure about it. I don't know that anybody on the court currently has heard that call before.
He's warned them a couple of times to back away from the court, but back in my day, we used to stand exactly how they are, and I've never been yellow carded for being too close.
No, not at all. And, now we're trying to figure out who gets the yellow card, which unfortunately I think it goes to Coach Yarbrough, right?
Yeah, it'll go to the coach, but I'm sure that he's probably trying to teach them how to note it on the paperwork because it's very uncommon. And, so far this year at their home games, I've never seen anyone get carded, so they probably had no idea how to denote that.
No, not something that you see very often from Coach Yarbrough and her team. And that's a terrible call. That is an awful call, as that ball was absolutely played off the block. And he is saying, no, it was not. But the net's not even wiggling, so you can't tell me that that ball was played into the net for a 4. That does not. That's terrible. I try to be pretty neutral when it comes to referees, but that might be the worst call we've seen all year.
That was absolutely awful. That was a bad call. I'll stop while I'm ahead.
A little frustration taken out on that swing as Tessa gets the Eagles a little momentum back, and they go into a new rotation. It's tied up at 6. Whalen with a swing, overpass, dug out, and now it's going to be 4. That one is fork. And very confused situation there. I guess the Eagles just lost track of that one. Was not a fork. We're going back to it. Not a 4 ball earlier, but that one was. So
I'm not sure what the thought process there was, because that should have been an easy ball to hit back over. I don't know why we're flinging arms on it when you easily could have just sent a free ball.
Whalen gets away with a double there. Play goes on. Tessa tips and, Tierney tips. And point Eagles.
Seeing a lot of frustration building back up on the Eagles. They're really starting to get, looks like just pure annoyed with each other again.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of annoyance, maybe a little frustration towards the referees, and they're not able to, kind of handle that a little bit. I'm not exactly sure what is happening, but regardless, they need to clear it and play because it's 8-7 Wayland, and this is still a very, teeter-totter moment for both teams. I mean, it's 1-1. You don't want to go down 2-1 going into the fourth.
Yeah, we got some weird vibes going on in here right now. We need to figure this out.
Kenny with a swing. Off the block and a kill. Inside out. Swing and a kill. 9-8. Back and forth action.
Really nice run there. That player was coming from the outside, and that's a very tough hit to swing at when you're coming from the outside, because you're having to go in, take a few steps to the inside of the court, right? And, your timing is way off, and so that was a very, very good run.
Mina rolls. In-system ball here. Page to the back row swing. And into the net, an error. Something we saw a lot last night. She believes had 13 attacking errors. Did have a double-double, but the 13 errors were big as the freshman was trying to will her team along at sometimes, but that's her 7th error of the night tonight, hitting a -105. She's playing all the way around. They're really coming after her. She's already got 14 digs here pretty early on in this match, but the negative hitting percentage is going to hurt, and that overpass by her leads to a point by Wayland. It's becoming a little bit of an issue right now.
Standing up on defense again for the Eagles. That was a pretty easy sweep to pick up, but you're not going to get anything if you're just standing picking daisies.
Speaking of picking daisies, Wayland gets caught picking daisies there by Mina as she goes to the back corner, gets a kill for her 10th kill. She is leading all Eagles. Right behind her, McKenna Thomas. Tierney with 6, Tessa and Paige with 5 apiece. Faith, 31 assists already. She is well into the 800 assist rank. And another kill. Good run there by Wayland, 12-9.
Another really good middle attack there for them.
Faith goes over on 2. Back-to-back walk by Wayland. Tessa with a swing. Tips. Smart tip.
Very smart tip there. You can see it in her face. She said, give me the ball. I know exactly where I'm going to put it.
Would love to see the Eagles get some more touches for the middles tonight. Tessa and Tierney really playing well. Tessa with her 6th kill, hitting 455. Tierney with 6 kills as well, hitting 417. So get the middle some more love.
That was a triple block of on that middle there for Wayland. I'm not sure if that was happenstance. Everyone was just kind of congregated, or if that was on purpose, but
I'm going to go ahead and say that was by design. Coach Yarborough not wanting to get beat by the middles, force somebody else to beat you. And that serve goes about 13-11 now. Wayland as a couple subs come. Float serve. Good pass. Mina with a right side swing. Just didn't get on top of that one. That ball flies out of bounds. Point Wayland.
Yeah, she swung way behind that one.
We mentioned it last night that SU seemed to be more aggressive when it came to, attacking, kind of keeping Panhandle on their heels all throughout the night. They ended the night with about 20 more attempts than Panhandle, even though they dropped the 5-set match. But right now we're seeing much of the same. Eagles well ahead in the swings category as Mina goes into McKenna's kind of honey hole in that one, gets the point. But Eagles well above the Pioneers right now in total attempts, 114 to 96, and they're winning the kills, 38 to 27. So it makes you wonder what's going on when you look at the score. You see those things, but it comes down to the 6 service errors, 16 attack errors, and the 5 reception errors. The unforced errors is what's really hurting them right now.
That will absolutely do it. I mean, there's a lot of this game that is completely out of your control. I mean, more than half of it, right? Because you can't control what the other team is going to do, but what you can do yourself is get your serve over the net, get down on defense, and set your blocks up correctly, So unforced errors, I mean, there should be just substantially less of them.
Yeah, something else I'd like to see from the Eagles is a little bit more presence on the net. We've seen a couple of blocks here and there, but not much, as they have not recorded a point off of blocks, and Wayland has gotten 4 of them. So really controlling the net defensively is Wayland. And right there again, another pretty much a free shot at the back row. Our block just not getting a touch on that, not getting a redirection, not slowing that swing down even a little bit.
No.
And point goes Wayland's way because of it. 16-12 now here in the third.
I mean, at this point, I think we'd have better luck just pulling everybody off to cover and play defense.
Yeah, there's been some really open swings over there. I know Coach Yarbrough was getting on to her girls for leaving a hole in the block, but there's a difference between leaving a hole in the block and not having a block. And some of these swings look like we don't have a block up. So maybe you're onto something. Maybe we just go ahead and pull back and play dig or die a little bit.
A little bit. I mean, the wheels look like they're kind of falling off of us here a little bit, and I'm not sure why, because we came out so strong. And we lost our fire, right? And it's a big bummer because this is senior day and it's homecoming. And if anything, you should be playing your hardest for number 2 on the court right there, because she will never play on this court again, ever.
No, this is your last time together with her, the last time she's on this court. And we've mentioned it a few times, like the girls seem to, they get frustrated, especially with each other. And part of that's, you can argue with your siblings all day long, but even from the first set, the second set to now, like, even in their timeouts, they're more spread out. And I know they got the yellow card for the celebration on the sidelines that nobody truly understands what's going on that. But they went from being a very close, on top of each other group there early on, listening to Coach Yarbrough, everybody was engaged, everybody's locked in, and then just right there in that timeout, you see them a little bit more spread out. Nobody's got their arms around each other. Nobody's really touching each other. They don't look as engaged. I saw some wandering eyes. Like, things like that are really cancerous. I mean, you mentioned it. You've got to be together. And I know Coach Yarbrough believes these girls are right there, and we believe these girls are right there. I mean, you see flashes of it. You see moments of it. It's just the consistency. Consistency will be the biggest thing for this team and this group.
And you don't get to choose when to be a good teammate. You should always be a good teammate. And good things will follow you after that. Just like that.
Just
nice
like
swing.
that. Treasure serves up. And another swing, another kill out of the middle.
Really good swing there from the middle. I mean, I'm a broken record there as of late for Wayland's middles. I mean, perfect spot. As a middle, I was taught always swing at the setter, always swing at the setter. Even if she gets it up, she's out of system, right? Yeah. So they've done just such a good job, and Faith is getting really frustrated because they keep hitting at her.
Yeah, it's really been they're kind of giving away their game plan, but whoever's back there, if it's Faith, hey, watch your face. If it's Paige, hey, watch your faith. That's what you're getting. I mean, those two are going to get it, and they're getting the most of it, and they're going to continue to get it all game. And Coach Yarbrough very, very frustrated. This is now 18-14. Got to have something. Got to have a side out. Got to have a run. Got to have some life. This team has gone completely quiet.
And I mean, we see our typical 1-6 hole of death there, right? Paige and Treasure talk about not being on the same wavelength. when they play defense together back there, there's really some sparks of brilliance, but there's a lot of miscommunication and a lot of just looking at each other. And Coach Yarbrough has finally had enough. She told Paige, scoot up, just scoot up, get out of the way. And now, Treasure is going to have the responsibility of covering her spot and getting the deep ball that's going to go over Paige's head.
Yeah, you're really going to get a chance to see Treasure's athleticism on display as she kind of covers pretty much the entire back line by herself from here on out.
But, I mean, she's a libero, right? She should be doing that anyway.
Couple of big digs there by Treasure. Good volleyball going back and forth here. Good rally.
Bit of a whiff there from the middle by Wayland, which is a lucky break for us.
Long rally here. With no swing and the net.
Still a really good rally there. I mean, there's nothing to be ashamed of by that. That was really, really good volleyball.
No, the only thing that you really want to hang your head on that is, again, it ends with an unforced error. So that's the only thing that you kind of come down to is you chalk that up to another unforced error.
And that was a pretty good idea, but we will call it out because it was on the outside of the antenna. But that spot is open and has been open for a while now, so hopefully it stays that way. Maybe we can do it the right way next time.
Wayland service up 20-15. Serving right at Paige, and nobody moves. That is service ace, and that is the most unexcusable thing for Coach Yarbrough's staff. They've had that a few times tonight. You just can't have it. You just cannot have that.
Yeah, that's really, really rough. I'm not sure what's going on in those heads over there. But like we said earlier, they're mad at each other. I mean, that ball should never touch the ground. Never, ever, ever. So we'll see if she's got any words of wisdom to kind of light a fire back under them, because right now this side of the court is cold.
Yeah, there's some lack of communication, some lack of trust, really. I mean, is what it looks like. The girls, I don't know what's going on, but Coach Yarbrough, I can tell, doesn't know what's going on. She's trying to figure it out for her girls, but you just got to reset. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You got to reset. 21-15 here in the third. Got to reset right now.
I mean, this is one of those timeouts that you call the coach, and you're like, I can't even say anything. Like, I don't even know what to say to get you guys to play, so y'all figure it out. Like, I've had plenty of those timeouts where my coach has just been like, what is wrong with you guys? Like, I have no words.
Yeah.
Just figure it out. So let's hope that they did, because, the score is not indicative of how we've been playing tonight.
No, not at all. Really been the more aggressive team so far, and looks like Coach Yarbrough's gonna make some changes. She's decided that there's gonna be something different. If the girls are not gonna figure it out, she's gonna figure it out for them. As we see number 12, Reagan Talley, and number 17, Megan Graham, on for the first time tonight.
I mean, maybe a change in lineup is gonna help out a little bit. I mean, some of our obviously starting six are off the court now, but those starting six that came off with some of the biggest attitudes that we've been noticing. So maybe this will be the kind of wake-up call that they need to dial it back in,
Yeah, some of the miscommunication between, the second ball contact, the miscommunications between, Treasure and Paige, the second ball contacts with, Faith and some, and Treasure maybe, or whatever the situation is. The only other real, I guess, quote-unquote, attitude that we've seen tonight was, out of Libero, out of Treasure. I mean, but I think part of that is the frustration of she's kind of being asked to do it all a little bit. There's been no help on her on the backside of things. So you just kind of roll with it, and you get what you get, and you kind of go on down the road, you see if anything changes.
Well, I'll be interested to see the response here, right? Because, I've been benched. It sucks.
Yeah.
I hate it. But how you respond, it says a lot about how you are as a teammate. So I hope that they're going to be happy for the girls that replace them for getting some time and playing well, because look at how much this has already affected them.
Yeah, and immediately you get two big-time You get 2 big-time points there and a lot of momentum. 17-22 now as the Eagles are kind of going through it. But no, it's like you mentioned earlier. There's no excuse to be a bad teammate. There's no reason to be a bad teammate. You've got to be a good teammate. That doesn't affect your physical ability, your mental ability, whatever it is. Being a good teammate, being a good cheerleader can be probably the best attribute a player can have.
Yes, I would take a good teammate over the most athletic person in the gym every day because I know that they're just going to be there for everybody. And, you know, you can teach skills, but you cannot teach being a good teammate.
Yeah, somebody that's that trust to have your back it's definitely a crucial thing. Wayland up 23-17 as their serve is now up in the air. Short float.
A little tight there for Megan, but good play to save that.
Keeps it alive, gives them a chance. Reagan digs that one out on the back row. Mina with a roll and finds the ground. Towards the block a little bit, 18-23. We're kind of in that same situation we were in the last set. Down 5, kind of closing out the set. Eagles got a big run in the second. They need one now to kind of keep it right there. Ball's picked up. Tip is over and picked up by Wayland. Swinging a block. Still alive. Wayland coming back over again. The roll. Kept alive. Back and forth action. Mina, and there's the miscommunication we've talked about a few times. Mina and Mac just kind of stared at each other and neither one of them took it and the ball goes in the net. That's the things that the unforced errors we talked about. Sometimes you have an error on a swing where it gets blocked, or something like that happens, but that's the ones that just can't happen.
I mean, you've got to talk to each other. This is a sport about communication, and that is just unacceptable. And I know it sounds like, if you're listening, wow, timeout, beautiful swing, perfect. But, if you're listening to us, it sounds like we're being kind of mean, but we just expect so much from these girls because we've seen the absolute best from them, and, we want to see that every single time. So it's a really big bummer when you see them start to kind of turn in on each other. So that is why we're so critical.
A lot of love and respect for these girls and Coach Yarborough and what she's done with these girls. She's got them all really believing that they can do this. The problem is they just got to do it consistent. They just got to do it consistently, and that's the toughest part is the consistency. But that's, also being a young team, you just got to overcome some of that. But we have, like you said, we have seen these girls at their absolute best, and I think we've probably seen them at their absolute worst. And I don't want to say that right now is their absolute worst, but it's one of the probably top 3 of what we've seen from them, just on the attitude, on the kind of turning on each other's sides of things. But we know they've got it in them. They know they've got it in them. Their coach knows they've got it in them. If you followed along at all this year, you know that they've got it in them. And it's just want to see that. I would rather see them have each other's backs, have fun, go get it, and play loose and free, and lose 25-0 than turn on each other.
Right.
I mean, I just want to see them have each other's backs because they are right there, and I feel like they're doing more harm than good when they start doing that.
Yes, and let's circle back. Do it for Tyranny.
Yeah, for sure. Right now, your back's against the wall. Tierney's got one more guaranteed set on this court. One more time playing with your sisters, with your family. What else can you want? Like, go get it. Go get it right now. Do it for her. Fight for another set for her. Fight for another set for each other.
I mean, and even just from a completely self-preservatory perspective, I would expect that from my teammates on my senior night, right? So I'm going to give that to you because I want you to go out feeling loved and with a win.
Yeah, the love, we talked about it, showering her with love. You see the signs, her family's down here in the front row. Really good, we kind of joked, you started to have a tear in your eye, as Coach Yarborough talked at the beginning of the game, before the game started. You feel that love, you see that love. The girls came out with their hair on fire. It was like, yeah, let's go get it. It's time to go. That's what I need. But now, where do you find it? There's no rah-rah speech. There's no anything at this point. You're down 2-1. You've got to find it. You got to find it inside yourself. You got to find it for the person next to you, and it's got to be important enough for you to do it. I mean, there's one thing in seeing it. There's one thing in doing it. Actions will speak louder than words.
It is completely internal at this point. And right now what needs to happen is one of those, it doesn't even have to be an upperclassman. One of them has to step up and say, hey, like, what are we doing? Let's go, And it is just something that, nobody else can fix with them. So I will be very curious to see how this set goes because You know, I want to see them win, of course, and I want to see them do this for their senior. And, you know, I just hate that they're so frustrated with each other. You know, that makes me sad. So I just want to see them turn it around and just come together. Because, you know, it's really hard because this is one of those moments where, you know, you can't practice this, right? You can't get this kind of atmosphere in practice. So they're, you know, we've said before, they're very young. So they probably don't have a lot of experience with these kind of emotions, right? So how are they going to process this? How are they going to overcome this? And it's going to say a lot about how the future is going to go, how they come out right now.
Well, I think the first step towards that change and the first step towards hopefully a fourth set win is what we're seeing right now. If you're still viewing us live, you see each other. They're in tight. They're attentive. Their eyes on coach. You know, hands on each other's backs. The "I got you, I got your back" mentality is what we just talked about. They lost there for a good portion of that third set. You just get it back right there. That's the first step. That's the step you have to drive you forward. And now you take that and you run with it. Like we said last night, you're in a situation where your back's against the wall. You basically got to score 40 before they score 25. I said that last night. You've got to win this one first. You got to win the next one next, but you can't get to the next one unless you win this one. So you've got to go now.
It is go time, and then maybe go time again. So let's see how they're going to respond here. It already looks substantially better. And we've already we've got that same lineup that we ended with, right? So really excited to see Reagan get some court time, to see Megan get some court time, quality court time as well. So lots of new faces on there. So hopefully we can get some good progress.
And almost a miscommunication. One thing we didn't want to see to start that. Gives Wayland a free ball opportunity. Reagan with a swing. She goes deep corner. That ball is kept alive. Roll shot. In system. And swing and a kill.
Pretty good first rally there, except for that, you know, potential miscommunication.
Yeah, a little bit of a fell asleep moment there for the Eagles on the second ball after the serve by Wayland, but they were able to scramble, kept it alive, got the point in the long rally. Eagles up 1-0.
I've already noticed that Megan's got to release as soon as that ball is hit. You know, she kind of stays and waits to see where it's going to land, but you've got to go to your base in order to set your defense or your offense up, you know. So I want to see her just see that ball, know that it's not mine, and get to that net and try to figure out, you know, how can I set my teammate up to score.
Yeah, it's easier to change and move with momentum once you've got it going. It's harder to kind of stop and start momentum. So even if you take, I guess, quote unquote, a wrong step, you know, towards your base in the middle, at least you have a chance to keep that momentum and move to where the ball is going, as opposed to getting to a spot, stop, then starting again. So look for her to make some changes. But again, she's just one of those freshmen that we've talked about. There's a ton of them on this team. So she's going to get that experience and growth the more that her career goes.
Really nice block there by Wayland. I mean, they were lined up perfectly, and really McKenna didn't have a lot of options there except perhaps tipping it over, but, you know, I think they even probably would have got a touch on that. So, you know, you got to give that one up. That was really, really good.
Tough ball, good defense there by Wayland. They're up 2-1 here. Service up. Short float, good pass. Mac found some ground. Ties it up at 2. That is her 11th kill of the night. She's coming close to a double-double with 9 digs. Mina leading the team with 13 kills. Again, I want to see some more middle love. Tierney, 7 kills, hitting 400. Tessa, 8 kills, hitting 500. Let's, you know, force feed the middles if we have to, but that seems to be our most successful offensive possessions is when they get touches.
Well, I mean, think about it this way, right? Okay, so we're in the 7th inning of a baseball game, right? You've seen these batters have seen this pitcher for how many innings now?
Right.
And so to put it in perspective, they've seen McKenna, they've seen Mina swing and swing and swing and swing. So what they haven't seen very often is the middle. And that's why it's so effective, because really unpredictable, right? You know, McKenna's going to go for her honey hole, and Mina's just going to swing really hard. So let's give them something different to look at. We need to change it up because they've got our number now.
And speaking of Mina swinging really hard, she swings hard cross-court in the deep corner, gets the kill, and gets Eagles out of that rotation into the relatively strange rotation, a slightly different version of it, but the one we talked about earlier with 2 middles, two outsides, a setter and a right side. A little bit different because you've got Reagan and McKenna on the court, and they both played some back row, some experience there, but not the rotation that you kind of expect to see from this team, but a point goes. So here you go. You get it again, and you get a chance. You get them fired up.
Put that dig in Tyranny's stat box because off the shoulder is still up.
And she kind of let the Wayland fans know about it.
Really nice serve there from her as well. That was a really nice swing there by Wayland.
Back and forth action here in the fourth as we are tied up at 4. Wayland serve goes over. McKenna digs that one out. A little bit different run as Mina comes in the middle, but tight set forces the tip, and it's a block. Point Wayland.
I'm not sure what happened there. Otherwise, that was a pretty big miscommunication. I'm not sure if Mina and Tessa knew exactly who that ball was going to. Just kind of sat there in no man's land.
And this is where it's a little different look for the Eagles. Oh, ball kept alive, but nope, not kept alive. Point Wayland on that scramble. This is where it's a little different for the Eagles. Megan has played, quite a bit as a freshman, but it's not your main setter. It's not Faith. It's a little different look. The timing's a little different. The hands are a little different. Everything's a little different than what you're used to seeing. I mean, she's got over 100 assists on the season, but that's not the same thing. So you're looking at your second setter. So you got to really adjust quick, but also it kind of limits some of your offensive ideas because you're back to more of a high set, giving your girls a chance to adjust to where the ball is at, giving them a chance to really get their approach through it. There's not as many quick runs. There's not as many, adjustments into your game. It's more kind of cookie cutter. But as long as the cookie cutter is not having any errors, I guess you still got a chance because that's what's really the Eagles have all the errors, the unforced errors are what's giving Wayland this chance to close out. So maybe the cookie cutter is what they need right now, just a chance to reset and just play normal volleyball.
Yeah, but what we don't want to see is just a throw it up there and hit it kind of mentality, right? We still want to try to see some type of quick offense. But it is, like you said, it's so hard when your setter gets taken out. You know her like the back of your hand. You know what she can set. You know what you can audibly call to change it up. And then you have this new person who you've practiced with probably a couple times, but it's still so different. And it's really, really difficult to adjust to, especially in the middle of a really intense match.
Eagles get the point there, and they saw that. JC comes in to serve. Her serve is up, and she digs that out. Free ball coming over, keeps it alive. And a good run in the middle.
Our middle got fooled right there. McKenna was solo blocking that one.
Yes.
I think Tessa thought that was going out wide, and she got caught out there.
Yeah, a little tough there. We went from seeing a triple block in the middle there in the third set to that one. You're outside getting a solo block in the middle, so a little confused on the defensive side there, but the Eagles, another chance to get a side out. Not this time, as it's 9-6 now, Wayland, and you're kind of desperately needing a side out because you've got to steal some momentum right now. You can't let this game get any further out of hand.
Well, really big props here to this middle and setter on Wayland's side because this setter is doing absolutely everything she can to move, arguably right now, her best hitter all the way across the court to get her away from that triple block and still set her up for opportunities for success. So that's really, really fun to see and really great to watch because she is super dynamic.
And another one. Wayland now up 10-6. That is number 11, Fade Agubade's 15th kill of the night. She is tied with Mina with all players. She's hitting a huge 355. For as many swings as she's gotten, that is a huge number right now.
That's really, really nice hitting percentage.
Especially when we just talked about it, at times she has seen a triple block.
I mean, essentially, you have a triple block up. There's no sunshine between any of those hands unless one of them is late. So the fact that she's hitting that well and she's got, sometimes 3 girls up on her is just all the rounds of applause for that,
Yeah, that's tough.
especially being undersized. But, she can jump for days, and that's really beneficial for her.
Yeah, just a freshman. So really, if you're a Wayland fan looking for that growth as her college career, if you're an Eagle fan, you hope that the growth doesn't happen and she just kind of stays the same, because it's a pretty good freshman, but you don't want to see it get any better if you're an Eagle fan. Double call there against Megan makes now 11-7, I believe. Yep, 11-7. Wayland, as their libero is now serving.
Oh, great adjustment there by McKenna, because that set was out and it was really tight. And really the only option she had there was to hit that shot, and she hit it really well. But on the opposite side, Wayland probably should have adjusted their block to that. But I'm glad they didn't, because that is an Eagle point.
8-11. Paige is serving now. Bounds, no touch. I didn't see any jump on that ball. I didn't see any change in spin on that one. Just hit a little wide, hit a little deep. 9-11 now, Eagles.
She was way behind that ball. That set was pretty low for her, and that's why it went so far out. Actually, it's a big bummer, but.
And service error gives Wayland Baptist the point right back, 12-9, as Reagan will come on for Paige. The 7th service error of the night for the Eagles, to go along with 23 attack errors and 5 reception errors. So we're into that 35 unforced error mark. Now I will give credit to Wayland. They've had 7 blocks, so I'll take those off on some of those. But the unforced errors, I don't mind if you get beat with a block. That just happens sometimes. But the unforced ones, especially the service line errors, that you've gotta correct. Give yourself a chance.
I mean, think about it. That is a set and a half almost that you could have won.
That's tough. Line shot there by McKenna gives her the kill. She's now at 13, 1 dig away from a double-double. Block there by the Eagles. Another touch off the block, but does not go. And here comes Faith back on. She gets a chance to get a mental reset. Coach Yarborough putting her back in. And the junior, the captain, it looks like her girls have her back as they come back in, get a chance to reset mentally and physically, and here you go. And she puts Tierney in a spot for a kill. Well played by Wayland to pick that up, and then they get a chance on the right side. They get a kill.
Super big hole in the block there. Had Tierney closed that, she would have blocked it for sure. Super big shout out to Megan for just coming on cold turkey and really helping her team out right there. That was a very good volleyball by her, and because she was put in a really tough spot.
And a timeout coming SU's way. It's now 15-10. That ball catches the back line. Yeah, great effort there by Megan. Really appreciate the team first. And we're back. That kill right there by the Eagles makes it 11-15. The senior, number 2, Tierney Sawyer, back to serve. And I thought I heard a whistle, but I guess not.
So they blew the whistle for the sub.
Makes sense. I hear you. I hear you.
It just happened to be perfect timing.
Whalen out of system. Free ball roll. Keeps it alive. Good idea. Tough there. A little tight on the set. Tessa with a chance to tip away, but just got the hippity top of the tape and doesn't fall over on the Eagle side. 16-11 now. Whalen serving.
So that was a very, very good idea. Just not a great opportunity to do it right. So, you know, it is possible for you to have this idea and then scrap it and try it again later. And that's probably what should happen.
Yeah, that should absolutely happen again. That was a great idea, and it almost worked out perfectly. And it goes a little deep there, and that ball's out. 17-11. Eagles have to go side out, have to get a run right now.
I mean, it's do or die, right? So, come on, Eagles. Give her a good senior day.
Strange serve there as that one about touched the heavens, but it falls out of bounds. Point Eagles as Faith DeSouza's back to serve. Good pass, good dig. Right in the middle, alive momentarily, and still alive.
Really good defensive effort there by Wayland.
And a swing blocks and not able to keep that one alive. Yeah, defense. Defense wins that one. Better defense on that one for the Wayland Baptist Pioneers. Great dig out, good block, and just all around good effort there at the net.
Happy to let that one have that one because it was really good effort.
It was good effort. And a good swing there. I mean, it's back to something we expected to see from her. She kind of died off there for a little bit, hadn't gotten to call her name much, but that swing was good. And a new look there for the Eagles as they slid Tessa all the way out to the pin. She gets the outside swing and a kill. So not something we're used to seeing out of her, but that looked kind of natural.
It really did. That was really good.
Yeah, very good.
It's really hard to be a middle and just step out to the outside for a swing because they're used to going fast, 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 fast. So 9 times out of 10, if you're middle swinging from the outside, they're going to be early as all get out. So that was a really good job of her to slow down and take that long approach.
And the triple block does not get it done this time as Wayland finds some ground.
You know, a triple block only works when there's not holes in it. And there were 2 in that one.
There was 2 holes there, and 2 words for number 11, Fade Agubade for Wayland tonight. Great job.
Great job.
There we go. And just like give her a compliment, she makes a little bit of a mistake there and gives the Eagles the point as she attacks the set there.
Got a little bit greedy on that one.
A little greedy. 14-19, Eagles are trailing here in the 4th set. Got to win this one to force that 5th and final set. Big boom.
Big boom. Another hole in the block there. What I did just here and I really enjoyed was McKenna is telling her teammates, hey, sets up, 2 hits, setters over here. I mean, really everybody should be chirping like that always because
ourselves if they were even here. We kind of came into that a couple times. And, hey, are they still over there? Are they still playing? Or what's going on? But yeah, I would love to hear the over communication. It just is what it is. I mean, but right now, you want to hear that communication. You want to hear that chirping. You want to hear them have each other's backs because it's 20-14. You've got to fight here. You got to find a way to get this next 11 points. You've got to really get after it.
it's a race, and we're losing.
Yeah, backs are completely against the wall as Wayland is serving here, the libero. Number 19, Brenna Daniel. Casey Coyle passes that one up. Good pass. Tierney with a throw. Saw that one, unfortunately. 21-14. Right idea. I liked going deep there. Just kind of can't catch it and throw it. That's the wrong sport, but I liked the idea.
Super good spot there. Just way too much palm. You need some more fingertips on that.
Short, short, short.
And that, I mean, that is a really hard deep corner push. So, you know.
It is what it is. You just kind of take them sometimes. It was a good idea. It just didn't work out their way that time. But it's now 15-21 as Paige comes back on to serve. In-system ball here for Wayland. Way out of bounds. Eagles staying alive. Chipping away, chipping away, chipping away.
And we've seen them do it before, so hopefully we can see them do it again.
Yeah, the Cardiac kids, that's not going to be anything new if they do it.
Let's end this senior day in typical Eagles style. 5 sets. But with a win.
But with a win. Chipping away, chipping away, chipping away. Another point there on the Eagles. McKenna Thomas with the kill. Off the block, out of bounds. 17-21. And don't look now, but just like we said, here it goes. Eagles can only play 5 sets, apparently.
Now let's be really smart here. That was a great swing with no block.
Eagles got caught napping a little bit. Late to the party on the block. 22-17. But a good run there by Paige as she comes off. Reagan comes back on. Eagles need a side out to get this run right back. Number 13, Samantha Ingram. The setter is back to serve for Wayland Baptist.
The Eagles here need to play really smart, and there's a difference between playing smart and playing timid, right? So we just really need to work on hitting our shots and work on not making any errors. And if we do have to send a ball over for free or a push or a tip or whatever, we have to place it really wisely. Because this game right now, I mean, it's very close. And it's very close to being over as well. So
I think that was one of those shots we were just talking about from McKenna Thomas a second ago. She found that deep corner and it was a smart, aggressive shot. But right as we said, play smart, and we give them a little bit of props for a smart shot, the defense falls asleep. And it's 23-18 on that little campfire right there. Complete whiff by Wayland. Missed up on the timing, bad, but it comes away with a point.
really good pick up there by Treasure. That was a great serve by Wheeling.
And now it's do or die time. Match point for Wayland, the first match point that they've had. 24-18.
Number 5 for Wayland. Kind of a dark horse over there. She doesn't get set a whole lot, but man, when she does, she really puts it away. So big shout out to her. She's kind of a silent killer back there.
Wayland with a roll. Eagles in system now. Mina with a chance. Puts it straight down. They fight off the first match point.
Great swing over there by Mina. Now, what are the Eagles going to do with it? That is the big question. And here is our wacky rotation that seems to work so well for us. Knock on wood. Let us see what we can do with it.
And the senior's back on the line. Her serve is up.
Super big moment here for Tyranny, right? She's a senior. This is her last game on this court, and she's on the service line. It's almost poetic.
Almost poetic, and she's going to get another chance at it. They fight off. Match point number 2. And you can see a little bit of emotion on her face as she's kind of in that, like, nervous, maybe emotional, maybe not want to get too excited, not really sure what to feel. It's now 2024, and it's still in her hands.
I can tell you what she's thinking is, please get this ball over. Please get this ball over. Ooh, okay, now what? Oh, yeah, defense.
Ball's off the block and played. Mina with another chance here. And that ball's down off the block, and that will end this one in 4 as Wayland wins. 25-20 here in the 4th set. Another good effort tonight this afternoon by your Lady Eagles as Coach Yarbrough and the Eagles drop this from 3 sets to 1. Next up, here not too long will be women's basketball, and I know men's soccer is also going at it, I believe, right now. So if you're on campus or around the Bethany area, swing by and come check out everything that's going on campus of Southwestern Christian University. Thank you, and we would love to see you guys next time.